Hello, lovely. So this fabulous crown of hair, if you love it, well, I am getting rid of it. I woke up like I have no patience for bedhead. I have no patience for So either number 3 or number 4 size clipper later today. This is going. Anyway, but you get to enjoy it right now. I wanted to come on board. It's June 10th, and it's morning here in lovely Oregon, kind of a gray morning light. It had been really sunny, but it's not right now. I've got my delicious cappuccino. So good. What is it about like those first few really hot sips of coffee? Anyway, and I don't know if I've given this view in my meditation tarot shrine room before. These are some extra yoga cushions, and then that is a drum right by Black Tara behind me, that green round circle underneath the Buddha, is a drum that an incredibly wonderful tarot reader, Jill Amy Sager, who has a book coming out. I'm not sure when her book's coming out. Anyway, she gave that to me. Lovely, lovely thing. So that's that corner. Okay, so why am I on board right now with this video? What brought it to mind was my brother. Maybe I'll pop a photograph of him, not a recent photograph, but one that I love. I'll pop that in here. He has kind of, endured, he has a sort of a very creative, scientific mind, but he has kind of endured my my tarot thing. And I had dinner with him last night, and he said, I have something for you. I have something for you. And this is what he had for me. Now, if you're of a certain vintage, as I am, if you're of a certain vintage, you remember Garbage Pail Kids. So I guess Insight Editions knows its audience and is banking on the fact that there's some kind of Gen X-y nostalgia that could be had with Garbage Pail Kids. As I recall, Garbage Pail Kids, when they first came out, did Art Spiegelman maybe have something to do with them? He definitely did those wacky packages. Do you guys remember those? I should have done a little bit of research before I started talking about this, because I don't really know. But, these were like this, what do I want to say? This parody of Cabbage Patch Kids, Garbage Pail Kids. So here we have, illustrated by Miriam Kim and Minerva Siegel. Andrew, this video is for you. I will actually be sharing some other finds in this video, but Garbage Pail Kids. The Tarot Guidebook. So let's see what they say. Introduction. Welcome to Garbage Pail Kids, the official tarot deck and guidebook. Roll up your sleeves and get ready to jump into the world of tarot reading with your favorite icky, sticky rascals reimagined as traditional tarot illustrations. First introduced in 1985, the Garbage Pail Kids have cemented their rascally reputation as staples in the public consciousness. Do they still exist? I don't know. All right, so here we go. Understanding your tarot deck, the major arcana, sort of a sample. They have like images of, is it just for big images for the major arcana, and then smaller images for the minor arcana. And it looks to me like, unlike some of these kind of, what I want to say, these kinds of homage tarot decks, it looks like this actually has images for even the minor arcana and doesn't sort of cheap out with pip. I love me a good pip deck, but these aren't pip decks. Okay, so just to give you a sense of what the guidebook is like with the Fool, just as Rob Slob steps out in search of muddier pastures, you too are beginning a journey of your own. Whether you're on a quest for a new job, a change of scenery, or to find the grossest mud pit in the world, the Fool card indicates that this will be a long, life-changing adventure. And then there's a reversed reading as well. Okay, let's just take a quick flip through. Cardstock is a serve a little bit of a soft, that soft touch finish. Not bad. I mean, a little cardboardy, not much of a, you can see it's not really springing back. Probably not a core in there. I don't know. Not bad, not bad. I actually am a little bit too old for, I was, in high school when these came out. I'm a little bit too old, I think, for this really being part of my consciousness, maybe. So I don't even know if these characters are characters that were actually, probably they were actually in the consciousness. So I don't know these figures, but these are the backs, by the way. This is kind of a groovy deck, actually. Oh my God. Okay, so there you go. The Garbage Pail Kids. Very fun. Certainly really colorful. Okay, I have to read what it says for the lovers. The lovers, Ada and Atom Bomb. The lovers represent a stable, balanced, happy union, like the strange, explosive bond between Ada and Amma Bomb. This card can symbolize perfect partnerships, friendships, and pairs of all sorts. In a tarot reading, it's a positive sign that a union will be mutually beneficial. There you go. It's actually quite lovely. So let me know if you are someone who, resonates with the Garbage Pail Kids. Let's just look at some of the... Oh, look at that. This is wonderful. Obviously quite... Oh, I love it. Obviously quite Rider-Waite inspired. I love these cups. It makes me wish that I knew more of the origin story of Garbage Pail Kids, and that I actually knew if these... Was there a cartoon? Or were they just they might have just, Topps Company, they might have just been bubblegum cards. Were they just trading cards? Does anyone know? I'm talking to my iPad. Do you know? They're really, actually, this is super well done. I'm surprised. It's actually, look at this 9 of coins. Look how pretty that is. In a kind of funny, gross way. Quite adorable. I love it, actually. 9 of Swords. Ace of Wands. There's a kind of richness to this imagery that's really quite lovely. All right, the moment of truth. It is a chunky deck, partly because it's... Oh, okay. There's a nice bend. I was going to say it's a chunky deck, partly because it's not great cardstock. Yeah, so can you really riffle? Sort of. It's quite bendy, but... Now, some of you are not as obsessive rifflers as I am. If I can't riffle a deck, chances of me using it much are almost non-existent. But, yeah, this is riffleable. Okay, let's do a quick dialogue. What do you say? Okay, so I was right about Art Spiegelman. So in addition to wacky packages, it was the brainchild. He was working for Topps back in the 1980s, and I guess they tried to rebrand this in 2016 maybe, and there was apparently in 1987 there was a movie which flopped, and there's a TV series that's in development. So maybe Topps is hoping that the tarot world will, I don't know, boost interest in Garbage Pail Kids, and Yeah, and make a movie possible. Anyway, so, but I didn't know, I didn't collect these cards, so I don't know them, but some of you may know them. I'm a little bit too old of a Gen Xer. If you're more on the tail end of Gen X, Garbage Pail Kids may be for you. But the fact that Art Spiegelman, author of Mouse, and In the Shadow of No Towers, and, serious, really pretty serious cartoonist, yeah, kind of grandfather of, or father of, underground comics, it's pretty cool. Anyway, Garbage Pail Kids. Okay, so, yeah, a kind of novelty deck, which might have some real oomph to it. Love it. I love the depiction of the cups, these rainbow. Yeah. Okay, Garbage Pail Kids. Yeah, what do you got for us this morning? What do you got? What do you want to tell me? Okay, 8 of Cups. Just, oh my goodness. What is that? They're like little cup dribble bubbles. Is that on a branch? What the heck? Okay, let me just, I think I have to look at the book. 8 of Cups. Oh, Mothy Martha. Okay, so they're like chrysalises. Oh my God. You're fed up and ready to make like Mothy Martha and fly away from a complicated and confusing situation. Often this card is referring to relationship, friendship, or family dynamic. No progress is being made and you're ready to fly off in search of a more peaceful environment. Okay, so moving on, flying away. Yeah, breaking free. Okay, are you Garbage Pail Kids Tarot? Yeah, are you helping me get out of the sticky situation? Just with this kind of playful imagery, helping me maybe not take myself so seriously. I'm about to get a crew cut. Are you helping me kind of make a clean break, cleanse the psychic palette, as it were? Is that what you're saying? And you're saying Queen of Coins. Yeah. So yeah, maybe just like have my cauldron of goop and allow myself to nestle into the delicious, messy thick of it. Is that what you're saying? My life is definitely full of delicious, messy, goopy conditions right now, as I'm always living a kind of crazy, full life, but I think it's even more full than usual right now. So are you helping me with that? Is that kind of what's at stake here? 6 of Wands, yeah. Letting me flourish. What is that? Is that a brain on top? Okay, we have to look this one up. 6 of Wands. Okay. 6 of Wands. Lee Tree. Terrifically triumphant like Lee Tree. You're being celebrated for all of your accomplishments. Congrats. Your tenacity and ingenuity are finally being recognized by others, and you're being rewarded for all your hard work. Soak up the sunshine and praise and bask in the glory of your success, and then get back to work. You're full of even more untapped potential waiting to be explored. Okay. Yeah. All right. So even more waiting to be explored. Basking, luxuriating. I just want you to look at these backs. They're pretty wonderful. This is a very kind of wonderful deck, Yeah, the Hermit. Okay, I love it. Okay, that's that. Garbage Pail Kids. Brother, if you're watching this, thank you. Yeah, and it's a solid, definitely, if this is a nostalgia item for you, definitely, if you're the kind of person like that Mystical Medleys deck that likes kind of a playful and rambunctious and slightly, just slightly off the rails tarot, it's great. I am not sure when I will read with this deck, but I am positive that I will keep this deck close at hand. Garbage Pail Kids. Okay. The other thing I wanted to share, maybe I do this no, I'll do it in this video. Okay, is I recently acquired, I'm about to start the 2025 cohort, the second cohort. So cohort that goes from 24 to 25 of the Mindful Tarot certificate program. 13 folks. Ooh, baker's dozen, perfect number. We're gearing up later this month. And with that cohort, with that program, we always begin with pips because we're beginning with the very bones of tarot. We're beginning with what I call tarot bones, right? And pip cards, first of all, historically, the tarot, in its origin, the 4 out of the 5 suits come from this tradition that comes from China through the Islamic North Africa into the Iberian Peninsula and thus into Europe. These are pip cards, right? And so understanding that, how pips work, the best way to understand how pips work is through playing cards, because they really boil it down. They break the bones down into the bones. And so I have recently acquired a few new decks, including a deck that I've been thinking about for a long time. The thing about playing cards is they are inexpensive, and they're beautiful. The card stock is always delicious. And the Bicycle Aviary cards, which I don't even know when these came out, they are still available, but 2021. They're still available, but it's not like you can go down to, Walmart and get yourself a copy of these. But you can find them. I got 2 decks, I think either on Amazon or eBay. I mean, they're like $5 a deck. And often Bicycle will produce the same deck in different colors. So the Aviary deck, I had seen these online, and I wanted to have them. So this is it in green. Aviary, obviously birds. The kind of imagery, the 2 Joker cards have a version of the famous bicycle with a bird on top. And then it's pretty subtle. So the ace, you can see the sort of almost Scandinavian imagery. What's subtle about it is that within the pips themselves, there's that flower design. So the green has a kind of dark, it's not black, it's kind of a dark green colorway. The faces are really quite delicious. I love that kind of color block. The flatness of the faces and it's just really, look at this queen. Really quite wonderful. And of course, again, these are decks that are made to be shuffled, right? So it's this wonderful casino air cushion finish of the linen. Here's what the reds look like. Okay, so that is, and just really, really quite beautiful. So that's what, with the birds. Yeah, that King of Diamonds. Let's look at our Suicide King. Oh, hold on. Here we go. I love that King of Hearts. Oh, with his hand over his heart. And that bird in the corner. Really lovely. So that's what the green looks like. I think I like it better than the red, or it's not really red, the sort of rust. But this is pretty too, just to give a sense. Maybe even the same coloring. Yeah, I think the cards themselves have the same, let's just Let's just check that out. I think the cards themselves are the same and just the backs are different. Yeah, so this is the Suicide King. Oh, no, slightly different. Interesting. Yeah, it is a different palette. So this is, oh, that is interesting. Okay. All right, so that is the Aviary deck. Now, and I also want to share this deck, the Portrait de Paris, which was a wonderful gift from William Rader and Christina Condor. It's based on a early 18th century deck. And this is, I mean, you know, they do great historical restorations, the Artisan Tarot folks. Beautiful backs, right? Beautiful cardstock. I mean, you know, bicycle cardstock is great. This is like a step up, right? Also really scrumptious. What is so fun about historical playing card decks is they're not reversible in the same way that we're used to seeing. So, I mean, there is this interesting thing about pip decks, people. So this is what the modern 5 of spades looks like. It's reversible, but it's not, right? There's a difference between the pointy, the clubs and the spades, and then the diamonds. The diamonds are fully reversible. But in these historical decks, yeah, see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? It's interesting. These subtleties make you start to see the complexity that we find all the time in a modern tarot deck boiled down to the basics. So this is the Portrait de Paris. The king, sort of, they're assigned these biblical references, or, well, I guess not just biblical, Pallas and David. So I guess sort of, I don't know the history of it, to tell you the truth. Roger, I don't know. Hold on. Is there any information that comes with this deck? I don't think there is. I do also love these 2 Joker cards. And, yeah. So all of the face cards, or almost all of them, they have some writing on them. Some are named, some are not. Yeah. So these Caesar. So it's just world history. Rachel. Biblical and Greco-Roman and French. Hector, Greek. Like, what's the story? I don't know. I know nothing. I love that deck. It's a beautiful, if it's not so expensive, it's a little bit of a splurge. I mean, compared to a bicycle playing card deck, but it's well worth it. If you can find it, a beautiful reproduction deck, which is, if you can find it, it's not in print anymore, but US Games did a version of this 1864 deck that was a Civil War, so a Civil War era deck made by the the L.L. Cohen Company. It's called the, I'll pop in an image of it. This deck is really, it's, the cardstock isn't a linen exactly, but it's a really interesting laminated cardstock. And by the way, this one has the kind of standard square corners, but it also does that thing that I was pointing to where these, it's just sort of slightly differently oriented with the pips. Yeah, I love this deck. This is probably my go-to, or has been. The Portrait de Paris may replace it. Playing card deck to use for divination. And then I have all the face cards here. Okay, last but definitely not least are 2 fun decks. One is what now is available as the Curious Cat deck by Stasia Burrington, the woman behind the fabulous the woman behind the fabulous Sacerobito tarot deck. It came out first as the Magic Neko deck, the Magic Cat deck, and it's a playing card deck and kind of an oracle deck. I mean, it is an oracle deck. It is just so much freaking fun. These, it is an oracle deck. There's a little, both in the Curious Cat version and in the original version, you have a little cheat sheet that will give you the sense of what the cats each mean. So you can use it that way, or you can read it intuitively, or you can just, play. Here, I think I have them all upside down. No, maybe I don't have them all upside down, but yeah. I mean, these are wonderful. Very, very sort of Japanesey inspired, right? Neko is Japanese for cat. I love this, the onsen. The onsen kitty. I can relate to the onsen kitty. That was the image that I chose for my bag. And finally, and this is a deck that I haven't played with. I've played with all the other ones to some extent. This deck, I've been meaning to play with. It is from MJ Cullinane, Crow Tarot person, Wise Dog Tarot, all of those tarot decks. And this is featuring imagery from various of her decks. And it's freaking beautiful and usable as a, playing card deck, both for divination purposes, although obviously this is not a pip deck. Amelia Earhart. I mean, it's images from all of her decks. I love that fox. I wonder if you, I wonder if you, and beautiful backs too, if you knew the decks intimately and you tracked where the images are, if they would have a kind of divinatory purpose. And I almost wish, I do wish that MJ Cullinane would kind of compile that, just even saying, this image comes from the Crow Tarot Two of Swords or whatever, to give us an opportunity to do that kind of divination work. Anyway, if you're interested in more, I posted a long time ago, I was doing work with playing cards, and I think I'm probably overdue to revisit my work with playing cards and to offer some videos. If that's of interest to you, and if there are specific things that you would love to explore with playing card decks and with the bones of tarot, how to think about playing cards from a very tarot-centric perspective, that's how I think about them, let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, I still haven't monetized this channel, so if you've ever noticed, I don't say things like, like and subscribe. Although, like and subscribe. I probably should monetize this because I'm realizing that YouTube is making money off of your eyeballs, and that's gross. I don't know. If you have thoughts about monetizing on YouTube, let me know. But in the meantime, thank you all for watching my silliness this morning, and the next time I see you, there will be less of me. Thank you for your practice. Toodles.